Hey, I'm Max, and in my last video I made a little game where you have to hack the game by editing variables to allow yourself to complete levels. I really like the prototype so far, so I decided to keep working on it a little bit more. The first thing I had to fix is that there was no min or max to the variables, so you could set variables like the fire rate to something insanely high and lag or even crash the game. You could also do crazy things like set the damage to a negative value to gain HP when you are hit, and that completely broke the game. So that was obviously not good, so I added a min and a max to the values. If you try to set the value of a variable too low or too high, it will set it instead to the min or the max. So for example, if you try to set the damage to a negative value, it will set it to 0, and if you try to set the fire rate to something like 9000, I think the max is 50, so it will set it to 50. Then I thought only changing variables was a little boring and also didn't give you all of the options. For example, you could still not do anything about the turret shooting other than changing the fire rate. So I started adding a feature that allows you to hack functions as well. The first one I tried is the reset target function for turrets that will reset its target to nothing. By default, the target is the player, so when you reset it, it will no longer target anything. So it will no longer aim at the player when the player moves, it will just keep shooting where it was aiming when the reset target was called. Once the turret has no target, you can also edit the aim angle variable to make them shoot wherever you want. Pretty cool stuff. I also decided to add HP and damage to the turrets so you can make them shoot and destroy each other. Combining that with the reset target and the aim angle, you can reset the target of a turret, make it aim on another turret and destroy it. Next, I wanted to add a function switch so you can make different functions be called instead of the one that's supposed to be called. For example, switch the damage function with the reset target function, so when a target is hit, instead of calling the damage function, it will call the reset target function. So it will reset its target, but it will not take damage because the function has been switched, so the damage function is not called, meaning that the turret becomes invincible. You could also replace the shoot function with the damage one, so instead of shooting, the turret will just damage itself. What a cool way to defeat enemies. Hack them to make them damage themselves. The next thing I added was a SelfHack feature. Some consoles will let you hack yourself, so you can speed yourself up for a few seconds. That's pretty useful to dodge bullets, or to be able to look ahead and see the setup of the level without dying. And you can also hack your own damage function to make it convert to healing instead for a few seconds. So if there is no Wi-Fi station near you to heal, you can switch your damage to healing and get hit, so it will heal you. The next thing I did was simply to make a few levels using both data and functions editing to solve them. Some of them are pretty hard to do and require a lot of trial and error, and one of them also requires you to type pretty fast because the walls protecting you move away as you play the level. Of course, you can always reduce the speed of the walls too, but then it's gonna take a very long time to finish the level. Of course, I added protection to functions so you can call them all, just like the data, meaning you can't just tell every turret to damage itself on every level, otherwise every level would be boring. I decided that instead of explaining in this video exactly how to do every level, I will post the game as a browser game for free, so you can go and try it for free in your browser. There are only 5 levels, so you can finish it in only a few minutes probably. But most of the gameplay is just typing anyway, so I doubt anyone would play it for more than a few minutes. Anyway, I liked making this prototype, it was pretty fun to make. I also learned a few things about C# reflections and function pointers. And you know what they say, knowledge is power. Thanks for watching and hopefully I'll see you later.